Okay, I'm just going to speak for just 10-15 minutes. I know my name has been circulating around on the emails. For those of you who don't know my name is Yoel Gold. I just landed from Eretz Yisrael last night, and I'm very excited to be here. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, since hopefully Be'ez Hashem we're going to spend a lot of time together and grow together. So, 4 years ago, I began learning at Rabbi Yitzchak Berkowitz's kollel in Sanhedrin Mechavet. How many of you have heard of Rabbi Yitzchak Berkowitz? You heard of Rabbi Yitzchak Berkowitz? Okay. Fantastic. He's an Adam Gadol, and it's a halacha kollel. I only learned there in the mornings. In the afternoon, I went to the mirror, I walked to the mirror, and I learned by Rabbi Yoel. How many of you have heard of Rabbi Yoel? Okay, for those of you who don't know, Rabbi Yoel gives currently the biggest shir, daily shir in the world. 500 people every day. And all over the world, people listen to his shir. Phenomenal Talmid Chacham, very gifted speaker. And he gives shir at 6 in the afternoon. So I would walk over 3 in the afternoon after my first Seder. I would go and eat lunch and walk over to Rabbi Yoel shir every day and learn the yeshiva's Masechta, besides the halacha. Sometimes I'd run late. I'd be home, the kids, my wife. So I need to call a taxi sometimes, to bail me out. I have to get on time. I have to be on time for Seder. So one day, I called Bar Ilan Taxi. Now, how many of you have heard of Bar Ilan Taxi? All of you. Okay. So, I call up the taxi company. I said, listen, Ramat Agalan 15. I give them my address. And I walk outside, and a few minutes later, this beautiful Mercedes shows up. And a Chiloni driver is waiting for me. I get into the car, and he tells me, he says, it was more like a sarcastic type of question. It wasn't sincere. But he says to me, Ata olech lemir, Ken? You're going to the mir, right? I said, you guessed it. He says, and what are you going to do? Yoshev olomed kol hayom, huh? I'm like, you guessed it. He says, why do you sit and learn all day? Now, it wasn't a sincere question. I wasn't in the mood, to get into this type of conversation. Have you ever gotten into a conversation with a taxi driver in Israel? I mean, you get the most fascinating conversations with these people. So I said to him, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I said, the reason why I go to the mirror and learn is for a very selfish reason. Nothing to do with God. It's simply because it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. I just feel good. He says, Ma, ata yoshev v'lomed kol hayom b'oto makom. You're sitting in the same seat every single day, hours on end, and it makes you feel good? Can't be. I tried to explain to him. I said, my dear friend, unlike the physical world, where first comes temptation, and then comes the taste of whatever you're tempting to do. In spirituality, in Ruchnius, first comes taste. Taste a little bit, and then you experience how beautiful it is. I quoted him the words of David HaMelech. David HaMelech says, Ta'amu, taste it, and then and then you'll see, you'll realize. In the physical world, it doesn't work that way. You look at a piece of cake, hey, ru'u, ta'amu, right? Take a look, and then you want to taste it. I said to him, listen, I said, you're wondering how I'm able to sit and learn all day, and why does it feel good? I said, come taste it. Be my guest. pull over the taxi and come to yeshiva. No, lo b'shvili. So we parted. I went to learn, came home, and the next day I was running late again. Okay? Running late again, and I called Bar Ilan to the rescue. And from all 250 workers, who shows up at my doorstep? The very same guy. I walk into the car. He looks at me. I look at him. And he tells me, Ani yedea, ata holech liot sameach. And without a word, he drives me to the mirror. I know. You're going to be happy. You're going to do what makes you feel good. That was the end. Those words, Ata holech liot sameach, when we go learn, is really a reflection of the attitude we all should have when we come to learn. It's a feeling of Anachnu holchim liot b'simcha. We're going to rock the place. We're going to be happy. You know, it wasn't easy for me to get on a plane for 2 days, Naser Tshuva, and fly over here. My wife just had a baby two and a half weeks ago, and thank you. And it's a little bit hectic, you know, just to get up and leave. But the feeling was, I'll be honest with you, the feeling was, Ani holech liot sameach. I'm going to be happy. I think it's absolutely amazing that each and every one of you decided on your own volition, your own free will. Nobody's forcing you to be here. It's because you understand and you realize that this is what's going to make us happy. This is true fulfillment in life. Connecting with HaKadosh Baruch Hu through Torah. While I was on the plane, there were many Hasidim. A lot of Hasidim came back from Rosh Hashanah. Belzer Hasidim, Ger Hasidim, they all spent Yontav by the Rebbe. Each one went to their own Rebbe. So I was sitting next to two Belzer Hasidim in the plane. I was in the aisle, the aisle seat, and there were two seats next to me. Belzer Hasidim, and they were talking, they were on such a high. They were talking about Rosh Hashanah by the Rebbe. So I turned to them and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, I have a question that bothers me in Avinu Malkeinu. Maybe you could help me. Maybe you heard some insight from the Rebbe. Who knows? We say every day, Avinu Malkeinu, please HaKadosh Baruch Hu, kasveinu b'sefer zechuyos. Please write us into the sefer, into the book of merits. Is anyone bothered by a question? Kasveinu b'sefer zechuyos.
You want to have a look at that?
Thank you, Gabi. Is your name Gabi? Huh?
Yeah.
You either have zechuyos or you don't. What is it? Kasveinu b'sefer zechuyos. I can understand. Kasveinu b'sefer achayim. Kadosh Baruch Hu has Chaim and Mesim. Please write us into the book of life. Right? But what does it mean? Kasveinu b'sefer zechuyos. Do you have zechuyos or don't you have zechuyos? Hashem should give you a freebie. So they told me a Hasidic teretz. They said, we know if you do tshuva me'ava, if you do tshuva out of love, what happens? All your averos become zechuyos. So we ask Hashem, please recognize that we love you. And we really want a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Really, each and every one of us, inside, deep inside, craves a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we ask, if you recognize our craving and that need inside of us to be close, then you'll write us the Sefer Zechuyos. You'll take all of our Averos and put it into the Sefer Zechuyos. I think there is no greater display of Avas Hashem. There's no greater demonstration of Kiddush Hashem. And there's no greater declaration of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we love you, when we take from our time, we give up 2 hours a night and say, Hashem, the reason why I'm doing it, my mom is not forcing me out of the house. My dad is not forcing me. My Rebbeim are back in Israel. No one's bothering me. It's because I want that relationship. I want to be close. And I feel absolutely fortunate and privileged to be a part of this Chabura. I look forward and I'm excited to Be'ez Hashem grow together, hopefully on a consistent basis, develop relationships, and help each other fulfill our potential. The time is now. Tirshu Hashem b'matzai. Hashem is right here. There's no greater time to start. And we have all the siyata d'shmaya. I'm excited. I don't know if everybody has chavrusas, but I'm here to help. And I want to be able to do anything I can to help in the growth process of each and every one of you. And I hope you guys will cash in to this unbelievable opportunity. We're learning Gittin. I know Rabbi Yoel gave a Shir Psicha yesterday. And Be'ez Hashem, we'll be learning Hilchos Shabbos every day, 8 to 8:20, 8:30. We'll go through the Simanim and Mishnah Berurah Chela Gimel. And we can be kinda unbelievable amounts. I used to have a Rebbe used to say, inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. You know, slowly, small increments. Take one sif at a time and try to apply it to nowadays halacha l'maisa. Take one daf at a time. I'll try to understand Rashi slowly. Yet, of course, we'll be moving. And Be'ez Hashem, we should all be zocheh to grow and to fulfill our potential. And I don't know if anyone knows Yiddish. And start with a knack. Okay. Shekayach, and it's nice to meet all of you.